Wellness in Action.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. 2017. Amway organized events to motivate participants and strengthen their teams. The agenda showcased success stories, strategically designed to inspire our prospecting endeavors. Speakers avidly conveyed how success awaited those dedicated to these principles. Keep talking to people and consistently presenting the business plan, and you'll reap financial rewards, they preached. While there were valuable personal growth lessons to be gleaned from these meetings, a part of me resisted, and I couldn't fully absorb their mission. Every time someone mentioned a victory, the entire room would stand up and erupt in cheers, a constant up and down routine that I found somewhat unsettling. Why do they have to stand up and sit down so much? I moaned to Priscilla, who just ignored me. Often, we had to drive a few hours to attend these events, which gave us an opportunity to discuss Priscilla's new business idea. She wanted to encourage individuals working in corporate offices to include mindful movement in their daily corporate routines. She believed that the sedentary nature of office work needed a change and proposed the idea of establishing a corporate wellness company together. Ultimately, we named the company Fitness Move and developed a program called WORKFIT. Priscilla and I worked together on her days off in my tiny room on Willis Street. The room barely had enough space for our beds, a small desk, and the copious amount of items I collected from checkouts. So Priscilla set up on my bed to cold call all the businesses in the Wellington area. Cold calling is all about confidence and persistence, she said, dialing another number. You just have to believe in what you're selling and keep pushing forward. I nodded while arranging our notes and materials on the table where I worked. You've got a knack for it, Priscilla. Your experience with Amway really helped. Priscilla smiled as she waited for someone to answer on the other end. Thanks. I learned a lot from those days, going through the phone book and calling every number. It was daunting at first, but it taught me how to handle rejection and keep the conversation flowing. As she spoke to yet another potential client, I admired her ability to turn a cold call into a warm conversation. Her voice was upbeat and engaging, making it hard for anyone to say no. Sweet as. See you then, she said to the person on the line, using a typical Kiwi expression for thank you, before hanging up. Then, turning to me with a triumphant grin, she announced, We've got an appointment for next week. We'll go in to make our pitch. That's fantastic, I said, clapping my hands together. Priscilla nodded. Absolutely. Fitness Move is going to be a game changer for these businesses. They just need to hear us out. As we continued working, each call bringing us closer to our goal, the tiny room on Willis Street became a hive of activity and ambition. Despite the cramped space, our fantasies felt expansive, filling every corner with possibility. We presented our concept to the owners, general managers, and human resource staff. The goal was to promote an exercise program with 2-minute stretches and strengthening exercises for employees to do throughout the day. Our pitch emphasized how these short movement sessions could significantly improve employee health and productivity. To expand our reach, we joined corporate meetup groups and actively engaged in setting up stands at business expos. These events became crucial opportunities for networking and spreading our message. The bustling exposition halls were filled with a cacophony of voices and the hum of activity. Our booth, adorned with banners showcasing the WORKFIT program, was strategically located to attract maximum foot traffic. We stood at our booth, ready to engage with the people passing by and showcase the benefits of our program. Conversations often began with us explaining the detrimental effects of prolonged sitting, backed by research and statistics that we displayed on posters and flyers. We highlighted how incorporating short bursts of movement would improve productivity, reduce health risks, and boost overall employee morale. We tailored our message to address the visitors' specific concerns, making each pitch as relevant as possible, and even offering quick tips on improving workplace ergonomics. Our program isn't just about physical health, Priscilla clarified. It's about boosting overall well-being. Employees who move more are happier, more energetic, and more productive. Our setup included a demonstration area where we showed them the brief stretches and strengthening exercises. Priscilla and I took turns demonstrating the moves, encouraging attendees to join in and feel the immediate effects. The dynamic atmosphere, with its mix of driven entrepreneurs and seasoned business professionals, provided the perfect setting for our enthusiastic pitches. Our bodies are not designed for prolonged sitting, I explained to the business professionals who stopped by. Over time, it leads to various health issues, including back pain, poor posture, and decreased circulation, to name a few. That's why we created WORKFIT. It's a series of 2-minute stretching, strengthening, and breathing exercises that you can do right by your desk. These simple movements can make a huge difference, Priscilla chimed in with gusto. Despite the occasional nonchalance or skepticism, many attendees showed real interest, leading to fruitful discussions and potential leads. The energy and optimism in the air fueled our mission. With every successful pitch, my hope grew that this business would become financially successful enough to sponsor my stay in New Zealand, turning our joint vision into a lasting reality. Additionally, we extended our reach by traveling to Auckland and Christchurch, where we conducted presentations on the importance of movement in the workplace, showcasing our innovative 2-minute moves. These trips were both exhilarating and exhausting, as we packed our days with meetings and presentations in hopes of spreading our message to more people. In Auckland, we found ourselves in sleek, high-rise office buildings, presenting to executives who were initially intrigued by our pitch. We demonstrated the simple yet effective moves right in their boardrooms. Christchurch offered a unique environment for our presentations, ranging from modern office spaces to smaller traditional workplaces. In every setting, we emphasized the critical importance of incorporating movement into the daily routine. Prolonged sitting is a silent killer, Priscilla would assert passionately. But with our WORKFIT program, you can combat these effects easily and effectively. Collaborating with Priscilla on the presentations provided me with invaluable experience in public speaking. Each session honed my skills, building my confidence as I learned to engage with audiences, respond to questions, and convey our message with clarity and conviction. Priscilla's natural charisma and my growing competence in public speaking made us a strong team. However, despite our efforts and the positive reception during our demonstrations, we struggled to bring about lasting change in the places where we presented. Many organizations seemed content to consider their health initiatives fulfilled for the quarter with just one presentation. They applauded our efforts, nodded in agreement, and then often failed to implement the continual daily practice of our 2-minute moves. We need to find a way to make this stick, I said to Priscilla one evening, after another long day of presentations. We were back in my tiny room on Willis Street, having our Friday afternoon debriefing over a glass of wine. Our travels to Auckland and Christchurch had taught us much about the challenges of effecting change in people's habits, but they had also reinforced our belief in the importance of our mission. It's not enough for them just to listen. They need to integrate it into their routines. Priscilla nodded in agreement, and I knew she was feeling the same exasperation as I was. Maybe we need to offer more follow-up support, like regular check-ins, something to keep them engaged and accountable, Priscilla said thoughtfully. That's a good idea, I said. We could also develop a mobile app or a series of video tutorials to make it easier for them to practice the moves regularly. We discussed our next steps, reflecting on what had worked and what hadn't. Despite the roadblocks, we remained determined to refine our approach and find new ways to ensure our program would have a lasting impact. To complement our work and broaden our scope, I had decided to expand my skills and qualifications by adding health coaching studies to my routine. I enrolled in an online course through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, aiming to enhance my credibility and expand our business. In the evenings, after Priscilla left to teach karate in the dojo, I dedicated time to studying. The course explored over 100 dietary principles, including veganism, raw food, and high-protein chrononutrition, among others. These studies not only offered new insights and tools to support our growth in the wellness industry, but also led me to surprising discoveries when we conducted experiments on ourselves, and they guided me to tailor my eating habits to suit my body. I learned that bread contributed to my intense emotional breakdowns by causing havoc with my blood sugar levels, rendering them unstable. Eliminating bread from my diet helped alleviate many of my emotional crises. I took a specialty course in female hormones and realized that the key to navigating erratic female hormones was through personalized nutrition, mindful movements, and self-care, something no doctor had ever told me. The only advice I ever received from a doctor was to take the antidepressant Prozac. This new knowledge became a cornerstone of our wellness program, aligning perfectly with our mission to promote healthier, more active lifestyles. Armed with this newfound understanding, I felt empowered to dive deeper into my growth. I explored an array of personal development courses that included hypnosis, public speaking, goal setting, and astrology. I even took a course on overcoming a breakup, hoping to finally cut the emotional ties with Pierre. My goal was to become a more stable person, capable of helping others to live their best lives.